To the podcast, hablemos de lo nuevo. 40Gs, G's que pasan el terreno. Vienen jugadores y se van, traiga lo nuevo. A huevo. Doesn't matter where you from. Salvador, Mexico, Honduras, Nicaragua. Todo mi latino, come and listen for an hour. TikTok, que traemos lo que quiere. Todo lo que pasa dentro y fuera de las redes. Really? You don't know what it is. Reportamos con la lupa what we see at the digs. En las buenas y en las malas yo diré la verdad. Si cometen un error o tienen habilidad, la calidad del rival cuando viene a jugar. Facts. Yo no me muerdo la lengua. Got love for the crest in the city I came from. Los campeones de campeones y con copas mi race. No empezamos, empurgamos. Soy la voz de LA One. Soy la voz de LA One. Love. Yeah.
Hello, hola, and buenas, and welcome back to the second ever simulcast here with La Cuna Galaxiana and Los Galanes from News Across the Galaxy. It is the second one we are ever doing. Of course, if you guys remember, we did MLS Cup, and now we are back for the first game of the season. We're going to be looking at all the intangibles, i.e., all the feelings ahead of the season and a home opener between the LA Galaxy and San Diego FC kicking off tomorrow, Sunday, February 23rd. And before we go any further, let me go ahead and introduce my co-host, El Yerno Guapo, El Gitano Perdido, Anandita Kirana. And, of course, I'm your other co-host here, or one of four today, Rob Halon. You can always find my written work at Extra Time Talk and the Sporting Tribune. And you can find me online at El Escudero de LA. But, Papa, Ananda, we're back with another simulcast with Los Guapos from NAG, man. How you feeling?
Oh, man, I'm just excited to chop it up with these guys again. We had such a good time last time, and I feel like we put the positive vibes out there, got a lot of score predictions right. We did not get the midfield starter right, but I am happily to be wrong on that one. I will do that. I will do that. That's true. That's true. That's true. I got to give you props on that. I had to bring that one back up because I always give you props on that. But no, man, super excited to chop it up again with these boys. I think we had such a good time last time, like I said, and I want to put those positive vibes again, beginning this season. We are the defending MLS Cup champs, Robert, for the whole year, right? Until someone knocks us off or until maybe we win it again. So no, man, super excited. Before we get going and bring these guys on, of course, for my housekeeping, you can always follow me, block me, or stalk me at Ananda Galaxiana. You can find our podcast at La Cuna Galaxiana, all your favorite socials, including, Carrier Pigeon, MySpace, and all that good stuff. And of course, guys, we are really super duper close to 500 subs. We wanted to get there before the start of the season. So help us out, guys, if you can, and if you like what you're listening to, if you love the NAG boys, if you love listening to us, go ahead and shoot us that subscribe and the like. That would really super help us out. And man, I guess it's time to bring on our special co-host, right, Rob?
All day. Yeah, like we mentioned, the NAG boys are here, and Los Galanes made time for us to come through and tell us what was real good in the hood. Of course, like Ananda said, we are on that march to 500, just a couple away. Thank you guys so much for helping us get there. But without further ado, let us go ahead and bring on the real reason you guys are here, which is B Loves and Eddie Nags. Go ahead and give us a big shout and round of applause for those cats. Welcome back to the simulcast. ¿Cómo están?
Great. Thank you for having us once again. It's been quite some time since we last had a conversation like this.
Yeah, too long, really. I mean, we've been joking around in the text messages a bunch, but this is an opportunity for us to get together and actually not even keep it serious, but keep it 100 on with Galaxy fans and let them know what we're seeing. Really, we should just get right into it. Your Tortuga Ninja behind you is like looking at me, and he's saying like, let's get into it, man. So here we go. You guys have seen the show. You guys have know how we usually do this. One word reaction. Usually it's one word reaction for the match, but for this, it's going to be a one word reaction to describe how you're feeling heading into the opener. Eddie, kick us off, man. How are you feeling? Are there any nerves? Are you excited? What's going on with in your corazoncito?
I guess the word I'm going to use is patient, because I just know that this is going to be a slow start, at least from a defending champs standpoint, and the expectations that we now have, right, as defending champs. It's gonna be a bit of a rough start. I mean, there's maybe like the home opener and some other games that might be a little favorable for us in the beginning, but it gets pretty compact pretty fast. So patience is something that I keep repeating in my head, right?
It's not a bad one.
No, it's not. Patient. That's my word.
Okay. B loves. Do you agree? Do you agree with patience, or are you like, nah, we're gonna go out there and smoke on that San Diego pack?
Yeah, because mine is excited. I'm just happy that MLS is back. I've been watching it all day. I'm still watching it as we're doing the show. Watching 2 matches, so I'm just excited. Especially being back at the digs. It's being champions, getting back home, seeing familiar faces, and just having that. I don't know. I'm just excited. Excitement.
All right. Patience and excitement, and then we have Anandita Kirana, bringing us home with the one words.
Yeah, and chat, go ahead and put in how you guys are feeling as well, man. I mean, we've got a lot of different emotions. We've got excited, patient. I'm gonna cheat and use 2 words, but I am cautiously optimistic, Rob. I am cautiously optimistic. This is one of the things I wanted to like kind of like talk to you guys about too, which is going into this season feels a hell of a lot different than it does last year, right, guys? Last year at this point, we really had no expectations. Like, we knew we had a good team on paper. The DPs were just, I think, signed at that point, and it was against Miami, so it was a big game. Not saying that, San Diego is not a big game. This is their first inaugural game, but let's face it, Chucky Lozano ain't no Messi, right? And so going into the season, it just feels, maybe the word I probably should use is different. It just feels different, and different in a way that I am optimistic, but I'm cautious. And this is to Eddie's point around it's a different set of variables this year. I've learned over like really, really closely covering MLS the last couple seasons, man. Every season is different. Like, it really is. It's a journey. So it's like, I think Eddie is right. We have to be patient as fans and see how this thing goes. But yeah, I'm optimistic, but I'm cautiously optimistic, Rob. I do have some concerns.
I hyped myself up by for this today and for tomorrow by watching that first episode of the Onside documentary. And it brought me back to all those moments in the lead up. I mean, seeing Ricky get interviewed, seeing Joseph Painso and Gabby Pell get introduced, and all those moments, that behind the scenes, and and I mean, I'm pretty amped. I'm like B-Loves. I'm pretty amped right now. I can't wait to get the season going. Of course, when you realize that the season kicks off tomorrow and then it doesn't end for 11 months and until December. If you're doing things right and you're going deep into the playoffs, then that tempers it a little bit. But I mean, seeing that first episode of Onside. What? Yeah? Huh?
No, I think it was an echo or something.
My bad.
Oh, okay, right on. I was like, ooh, who has something to say? I like it. But watching that first episode and realizing that tomorrow is like the exact same kind of situation where it's a big occasion. San Diego's going to be here. The eyes of the league, if not the world, are going to be on Los Angeles once again, as they really should be. It's got me amped, man. It's got me definitely amped. Well, I see the Nag boys, just like us, they got the memo and they matched up. wearing that beautiful purple and gold, while Ananda and I are wearing that green kit. Do y'all have your fits picked out for tomorrow, like already laid out on la camita? Yeah. B-Loves, are you wearing what you're gonna be wearing tomorrow?
Well, just a top. It's like one of those excited to go back to school moments. Night before, I'm ready to go shower after this.
Yeah.
Shave up, lay my clothes down, put my shoes nice and tidy, wash them a little bit, and then just try to sleep, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sleep from the excitement of going to Nelly Galaxy match tomorrow. So yeah, I have everything ready.
You're gonna put out the tantarans without the ojitos, you're like the good tantarans.
Well, like you mentioned earlier about the group chat, I have my tanga on right now, so I don't know what you guys are doing.
I have no tanga on right now. Say, ooh. What about you, Eddie? Are you gonna be rocking that traditional white, or are you gonna be wearing that Ryzen kit?
We'll see. I'm not the Brian. Brian's the one does it for the gram. He's got the crazy sunglasses and little hanging cross in his ear. Just remember all that. He'll definitely have all those things. I have like a Brian checklist that I know everything that he. Okay, these shoes look ridiculous enough. Are my pants rolled up high enough? I don't know, but I'm whatever feels right tomorrow. That's kind of how I roll. So
you're like whatever está limpio, right?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, that back there, that is a separate closet. That is a closet just jerseys.
Ooh.
So I tend to open my closet on game day, and I'm just like, all right, what feels right today? What fits still?
That's the struggle, baby. What fits right now, right?
Eddie, I'm gonna make a suggestion though. That I love that Noche de Sexto shirt, man. You gotta break it back out. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that.
It might happen. It might have to happen now.
There we go.
I saw a couple of those at the CVI, man, and I was like, Eddie, where you at? So I
still have the picture of. Let me see if I can find it. I still have the picture of Landon holding up one. Sorry, let's see if I can find it. But you can go ahead, Rob. When I find it, I'll flash it up. Don't worry.
Well, no, I was going to ask you. What about you, man? You wearing the green? You wearing that retrograde? Or I know you don't have the Ryzen yet, but what are you wearing? Traditional white?
Again, it's gonna be like, I don't know, just whatever feels like. Well, actually, I have a serious question now. Are we doing whiteout tomorrow? Is that like a thing, or it's not?
I think it's always a thing, really, for the home opener. Yeah.
So something white, or if Eddie hooks me up with one of these, like, hey, that's sexy right there, man.
Damn, I have to go look at my inventory, see if I got any of those still. But if I may, it's cool. Push the whole wear white thing. But I think that's what makes us more LA than that other team, right? You go to a Laker game, nobody, the whole stadium isn't yellow. Yeah, it isn't purple, right? We're not like a cult. It's not like a trend. So, yeah, if you want to wear white, cool. But wear what you want. That's the beauty of our team. We're like, we're more LA than that other team. Those are the things that separate us and make us more like your Lakers, like your Dodgers, like your Kings. So yeah, wear white is cool. I'm sorry, I just had to say
it. well, if you're like Papa there in chat says he's gonna be wearing a wife beater and some Dickies.
There you go.
That's the outfit right there, man.
Yeah. Still white, but whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, it depends how the wife beater is, right? Because if you've watched it a couple times, it's like a little yellow and stuff like that, but. Don't
listen to me. I'm just bitter because white makes me look bigger. That's all.
Well, I'm gonna be a little bit jealous of you guys because I'll probably be wearing like some kind of a shirt and tie combination. Yeah, I mean, they'll kick me out of that press box, man, if I'm wearing any badges or anything like that. But ahead of this match, I queried on X. On Twitter, rather. I'm not going to give that guy the courtesy of calling it what he wants. On Twitter, I asked, if the Galaxy versus LAFC's El Tráfico and the Galaxy versus San Jose Earthquakes is the Cali Clásico, what's the name for this one? And I got a lot of really good responses, but I'm interested to hear if you guys have anything that you're calling it yet, or if you guys have any kind of nicknames that you've liked, that you've heard. B-Loves, have you heard of anything?
I've read through some of the stuff that's on Twitter, but I think it should just come after this match, because we don't really have any type of rivalry with them yet, and it just for me, I don't have like a specific nickname for this, but I'm pretty sure once the game starts and once the rivalry gets a little bit more, I'll pop with something up. Right now I have nothing. It's
the inspiration needs to hit.
Yeah, the inspiration is the hit, and it hasn't yet. I'm just all right, ready for tomorrow. Let's see what's gonna happen. That's it.
What about you, Eddie? Have you seen anything online, or have you thought of anything that you're like, that's a good name for this quote unquote budding rivalry? Because it's really not yet. Like B-Love says, there's nothing in there yet.
I mean, I must be really out of touch, because I honestly haven't heard any of these names, so I would love to hear them. But I don't know what's in the middle, like battle for the OC. I don't know.
There's been a lot of them.
What was it, like something around the I-5, like something around SoCal Classico, stuff like that? Actually, there was one that I quite enjoyed, Burrito Bowl, which is kind of nice.
The Burrito Bowl
was kind of clean. Yeah, that was kind of clean.
Yeah, I mean, there was like the I-5 Classic. People were trying to get me in trouble on the socials by saying the Hong Kong Derby or the Hong Kong Classic.
Oh God!
And you know what? And you know what? I'm gonna just put this one out there, wifey. I don't even know what that is. So like
good Chinese food, I've heard.
Yeah, no, I've heard of that. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of them. And I think my favorite one though is the Surfline Classic, in honor of the train that takes you to and from San Diego to Los Angeles. So yeah, I mean that one's my favorite so far. And of course that one, I heard train and I automatically thought of Josh Gessman, the Podfather. So in honor of him, for me, at least at the moment, it'll be the Surfline Classic. What are you guys looking forward to most about being at the Digs tomorrow? Eddie, go ahead and hit us up. Those hot dogs, the camaraderie, just being all petty in everyone's faces and being like, "That's right, campeones."
Yeah, I've looked forward to seeing people wearing other teams' jerseys and like, hey, you see these? See these? Can't have one. Can't have one.
Can't sit here.
It's corny, and I'm just like, I've definitely have aged, and I approach these things differently, right? I like the whole thing, just from getting up the moment. I think that's one of the reasons, like, I honestly don't pick my outfit, right? I like that, like that day I have to like
spontaneity.
Yeah, figure out what I'm gonna wear, get my stuff in the car, pull up to the stadium, smell the fresh cut grass. I'm that kind of guy. I like every single moment of it. The fact that I just get to be there is what I look forward to.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's going to be a special day. Just the fact that we can be there, that's a blessing. Shout out Joseph Pinsel. Especially because like we kind of take these things for granted a little bit. I mean, there's people who won't be at the stadium tomorrow, and they're going to be watching on TV, and I'm just gotta say I'm sorry about it. But B-Loves, what excites you most about being at the Digs tomorrow again with everybody?
On top of everything that Eddie said, I don't think I've ever seen a banner unveiling in that stadium, and I think they're doing that tomorrow. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes.
A what?
A banner unveiling. Are they doing that tomorrow? Because
do they not do that at Clipper openers?
Oh damn!
Hey man, we're talking about the Galaxy right now, right?
y'all need to work something out real quick. but
Yeah,
I
this
do
time.
but I do gotta say, like I did tell B Loves, the head of the show, that purple and gold looks really good on him. I just gotta say that.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe it's your good bone structure. Who knows? But now I don't know if that's Greg said something about the fact that they're doing something at halftime and that like it'll cause a delay in the teams getting back out for the second half and stuff like that. But I'm not sure if it's the banner unveiling or if they're just going to recognize the team or maybe recognize the fans. Who knows? But I would expect that something is going on. But I haven't gotten word at all that it's going to be the official banner unveiling. But hopefully it is. I mean, and then we could like Eddie said, can't have one of these.
Rob, what are you looking forward to, man? I know you're gonna have a different view up there, bird's eye view, but I'm sure they made some upgrades in the media space, right? As well.
They did. Like I said, the press box is the actual press box is much the same. For me, the best view in the league. A lot of these newer stadiums have the press box in the corner. Like SoFi has in the corner, and it's behind like really thick glass. You can't even hear the crowd. So for me, the Digs is one of the best press boxes in the league, and definitely the city, because I mean the other team has their press box in the corner, and there's some depending on where you sit, you can't see everything. I digress, but no, it's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to, and I put out a tweet about this. I'm looking forward to being with all the colleagues that I've been covering this team with for the past couple years. I mean, and forgive me if I don't mention, but Alex and Josh and Sophie and Anthony Bautista and Damian and Scott, K-Backs. I mean, they're all tremendous people. Moni Delgado, and yeah, I mean, it's going to be really fun to get together with them again. And they're actually bringing out the Don Garber for us at halftime there in the press box. So we're gonna get to talk to him. So there's gonna be a lot of other Associated Press around. I'm be very surprised if there wasn't a lot of the national pundits from MLS and stuff like that there. So it's gonna be a good time, and that's what I'm looking forward to is kind of anybody that I've been looking up to, like their work, their writing, their content, kind of meeting them, connecting with them, and then saying hello to all the old chums that cover this team on the daily. But what about you, Nanda?
Can you tap Don Garber on the shoulder and tell him to increase the salary cap, please, and not have bonuses count against the cap? Please?
He listens to me, so yes.
It's funny because I was gonna make a comment when he said Don Garber's gonna be there, like, oh, I know what the delay is gonna be at halftime. He's gonna make that announcement that Messi gets to bring another friend, and it's like the Messi DP, He's there.
Yeah. I mean, probably it'll probably be something like that, like some kind of rule about how like Messi never has to play in the snow, or like they Inter Miami gets the like a spot in the Club World Cup for perpetuity, and they never have to try again, like something like that, But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. And any thoughts about a potential starting lineup, guys? I know we've there's players missing through injury. Greg is kind of not forced into certain decisions, but he has only the pieces that he has to trot out. Are you anticipating any surprises in the starting lineup at all? Eddie, let's go back to you. Are you seeing that same starting lineup that the Galaxy trotted out in the CVI in the fourth game, or are you seeing some kind of surprise there somewhere?
I think if you look at the roster, given the injuries we have, there can't be too many surprises, right? The only surprise that I can imagine, well, two, I guess, would be the keeper position, and even that's not too big of a surprise, and who starts on top. That's probably the biggest surprise. If Nascimento starts instead of Christian Ramirez, I think that's the only real surprise. I don't think there's much of a guessing game. Right. We're kind of depleted, and we got what we've got. Unless you're gonna start, man. I guess Wilder, because he got some starts in there. I really don't know. Winder.
Yeah.
Wilder, sorry, I forgot.
Yeah,
how
I
to pronounce
mean,
his name.
Elijah Winder. Is it
Winder.
Winder? I thought it was Winder.
I don't know. I think you guys have that like pronunciation sheet, right, Rob? Or something? So
Yeah,
you gotta
I'll go to it.
or go ahead and just knock on Joe Totino's door. He's right next to you guys. So there you go.
That's very true.
He's gonna have it 100% accurate. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I mean that could be a surprise, right? I mean, Sanabrio's only gotten that one start. He hasn't gotten a ton of minutes, while Elijah's gotten quite a few minutes in the CVI. So that's not a bad shout right there. B-Loves, what do you think? Are we getting that a surprise or two in the starting lineup, or does it kind of write itself?
I would kind of like to see a surprise with Winder maybe starting. I know Royce could probably go from the start, but it's the home opener. Why not give the kid a chance in this situation? And I mean, on paper, San Diego doesn't look like they could damage the LA Galaxy. On the contrary, you could give this kid time to kind of work out his game with the team. That was a surprise that I would like to see, but will it happen? I don't think so. I think the starting lineup that they last played with at the Coachella Invitation was probably the lineup they're going to go with. I would like to see Mikovic actually start, by the way.
Yeah, I think that one is I think that one's kind of a knock on right there that's going to happen. But we'll ask that one. We'll get to the goalkeeper battle here in a second. Ananda, what about you? You think I mean, you've kind of answered this one on Thursday's pod, but since then, have you changed your mind at all? Does this starting lineup the same as the CVI starting lineup?
Yeah, I think so. I think the only one I'm thinking of even is maybe Winder or Winder. But yeah, I think I'm pretty good with that lineup. And yeah, it's just gonna be interesting, man. Just like I saw a few things at CVI that I wanted to see, but there's a couple of things that also concern me. So it'll be interesting. I think it'll be interesting too to see how we finish the game as well. What attacking options do we have off the bench if the game gets tight, right? So, but yeah, I mean, we have a strong starting lineup, man. And Christian Ramirez, I think we'll get the start at number 9.
Well, yeah. I mean, one of you guys mentioned that Greg has, probably not a lot of motivation to put surprises out there because he only has a certain pieces, right? So,
we also have Miguel Berry,
the GOAT.
Hey, I'm not gonna knock Miguel at all because he scored some important goals last year for damn sure, and it kept that momentum going. So, but there are some departures, there are some injuries. Of course, the Galaxy lost Gaston Brugman, Jalen Neal, Mark Delgado, Dejan Jovic, and then their two big absences through injury are Joseph Painso and Ricky Putin. And of course, it was announced today that Mauricio Cuevas will also be out for this match. But for you guys, who is the biggest player loss you'll miss tomorrow, either through departure because they're no longer on the team or injury? B-Loves.
Yeah, I mean, the obvious answer is Ricky Puig. Just because of what he was able to do last season. He basically carried the team for most of the season, and just the importance of what he is to create or start creating some offense is going to be missing tomorrow. So with me, it's going to be Ricky Puig.
Yeah. Eddie?
I'll take a different route. We knew about Ricky Puig in his injury, and we obviously we found out about a week ago now. I'm going to say right now at this moment, someone like Mark Delgado is the biggest missing piece because now Galaxy MLS as MLS gets, right? They got Sean Davis off the trade and then they put him on waivers. So now our middle is very, very thin because assuming now with Painter out, that moves Fagundes probably out wide. So at this moment right now, someone like Delgado's really missing because he would have been a depth piece in this roster.
Ananda, what do you think? Who's the biggest miss?
I was gonna follow up with that, and I think it is Mark Delgado. Rob, you remember the first, I would say, month or month and a half. I know we were talking about on this pod. I'm sure you guys were.
He was a monster
on News Across the Galaxy, but he was a beast. He had his assist numbers. He got the game-winning goal at SKC away. If you guys remember that, he was a huge piece, man. And I think he's one of those calming presences. Greg always talks about him being another coach on the field. what's the quote that he used, Rob? The great balancer or the great equalizer or something like that.
Yeah.
Just such a great tempo setter for this team, man. And I look at that midfield, and that's the one section of the pitch I think that gives me like pause, even the attack, but I think more so the midfield. It's unproven in that they haven't really played much together, especially if you put in a Winder and a Sanabria in there, guys. So Mark Delgado, though, is that guy where, I mean, I just remember against Inter Miami last year, he was so good in that game, right? Just making runs, creating that assist off of the first goal today on Joveljic. So I think he is going to be a big miss, man. I think we're going to feel the impact of his miss, especially in the beginning and middle parts of the season as the new midfielders ramp up, right? And, that type of veteran presence, as I've seen firsthand in that onside documentary, that's huge, man. That camaraderie, that like Martin being with like all the Spanish speaking guys, like at the dinner table, and Gaston and stuff. That's a big deal, guys, that camaraderie off the pitch. And I think we are going to miss a lot of that in Mark Delgado in terms of the leadership.
What do you guys think is the biggest or most important acquisition that could make a difference tomorrow? Let's go ahead and start with Eddie.
Oh man.
I called you first. Preparado.
Nah, that's fine. I think it's gonna be Nacimiento, because I had my criticisms about Dejan. I don't take him back. Right, he was clutch when he had to be. And if you listen to, I think it was Tuesdays, because it was the panel was on there. Tuesdays, Corner of the Galaxy, they made the joke of like, if me or you were on this team, we were good for at least one goal this season with the service you were getting. Right. So I love De Jong for what he did and scoring the big goals, but there was a lot of sitters that he should have buried throughout the season that I felt any other striker not named Miguel Berry would have put away. So I'm hoping that Nacimiento becomes this guy. He's got the size, he's got the flair. So hopefully this kid pans out and he's going to be the most important signing this season once everyone is back and healthy.
What do you think, B-Loves?
So Ananda and Eddie mentioned Mark Delgado, and the one that's replacing him, or quote unquote replacing him, is Lucas Sanabria. He has to right away get with the program, get with what the team is doing, and it's going to be a short time for him to do it, and he's going to have to step up right away. So he's going to have to be our biggest acquisition. And not just that, playing alongside another young guy like Cerillo, it's going to have to, there's going to be some trial and error in that. And if he's going to come in and take that role that Delgado has done marvelous with us, he's going to have to step it up. And I think he will be one of our biggest acquisitions.
Yeah, I think over time, for sure, Lucas Sanabria is going to come good and be that $5 million signing that the Galaxy went out and got, right? For me, personally, Christian Ramirez, he's if you guys were talking about Eddie, if you're talking about those sitters, I feel like Christian Ramirez is the guy to put those sitters away. Proven goal scorer, proven champion. I think that he's going to get his goals, but then especially when Ricky comes back, that man is going to eat. But Ananda, what about you? What biggest acquisition or that could make a difference in this match?
Yeah, no longer Sean Davis, right? Womp. That was,
you guys can't pick Sean Davis, or you guys can't.
Poor guy.
You guys can't pick the GAM either that the Galaxy picked.
Oh yeah, best signing ever in MLS GAM, 2025 GAM, right? But no,
interest rates.
Yeah, exactly, right. No, I think you guys covered the gamut. Look, I think let me flip the question on its head a little bit. I think the place that needs to step up, especially early in the middle on, is the striker, right? And to replace Dejan's goal tally for last year. I think that's going to be a big hole that we need to plug, especially without the services of Joseph Paintel and Ricky Puig, Joseph for the first couple of months, right? So I think Christian Ramirez, I think it was a very, very smart pickup, and that we needed an experienced MLS vet. So he's going to have to pick up the slack as Nacimiento wraps up. But the more I hear about Nacimiento, and like I heard, Edgar do the midweek show for you guys, which was really, really good. It gave us a lot of insight into what we can expect from Nacimiento. But what I like about that situation, and I think Eddie may have touched on it a little bit, which is huge, huge upside, Brazilian flair, and he's got the support system here, guys. He's got Juninho as another coach for him. He's got Gabriel Peck, he's going to play on that side with. He's going to play in the attack, right? And under the tutelage of Greg Vanney, we saw how Gabriel Peck blossomed last year. I can't wait to see what Greg does with Nascimento's game and him improving this year, because he was supposed to be the next big thing out of Botafogo, out of Brazil, right? He broke through that team when he was 16. So, and on the youth national team, which, by the way, he played with guys like Savinho, who's on Manchester City right now. So he's that type of talent, and I'm hoping that transcends, man, and he becomes, another future $20 million player for us, because that's what we need right now.
Yeah, Nanda, you talked about last year about, well, especially during the whole Vanney out, when the Galaxy hit probably the roughest patch of the season, that the mark of a good coach is bringing out the best of a player, making that player take the next level. So really, I'm excited to see what Vanney does with Nascimento, because you're right. There's a lot of promise on him. And should he come good, the Galaxy hold that purchase option. So,
yeah.
Hey, if he's scoring,
yeah,
get at it.
Rob, I'm so glad you touched on Vanney, because I wanted to bring this up with you guys. And I don't know if you guys felt this way as you were watching the documentary, especially I watched the first episode, right? It's crazy to think just the story arc of Vanney, and from the doldrums of the noise, right? It like my head completely I took myself and I put myself back in that moment. I remember Rob and I on this podcast, I'm sure you guys were having the same arguments, the same debates around, is Vanney wrong for doing this? Like, what is he doing? And I see all these fans like reacting in a certain way, and they literally wanted him, his head on a plate, right? Like they literally wanted him gone. They felt disrespected, etc. And you see, like, just through how he just approaches managing the team and getting the players ready, and his lovely use of F-bombs to just rile up either whether it's the ref or the team. But I think the thing that the documentary showed, I'm so glad they showed this, which is it got me more empathetic to Greg, in that he cares, man. He's really, really passionate. He cares about this team so much. And so I wanted to and the great thing about this, the capper to this was I saw a lot of fans that reacted a certain way to Greg 2 years ago say, you know what, I was wrong about Greg. I'm holding my hands up. And especially after seeing this documentary, like, he bleeds blue, white, and gold. He really, really cares about this team. And I was just happy, like, the documentary really showed that. But I wanted to kind of pose this to you guys, which is, thinking about this year, it's hard being the defending champs. We've got a target on our back. Everyone's going to give their best game for, against the LA Galaxy. And that's not a position that we've been in a very long time, right? So I would argue that this is Greg's probably most challenging or biggest coaching job yet. He's got to get to his team and we're missing a lot of pieces, whether it's through injury or departure. So he's got to manage through all that on top of being the MLS defending champs. I don't know how he's going to handle that pressure. I don't know how he's going to transmit that pressure to his team. But what do you guys think, man? Do you think this is Greg's biggest challenge, coaching challenge?
I'm gonna refrain from talking any smack about him anymore, because I haven't seen the episode, but I saw the clip of when he got pretty emotional, and it actually made me feel bad, because there was that moment that, like you mentioned, Eddie and I came on the pod and talked our ish about him, and it was heavy stuff. But he won us the title, and this is a hard job, and he's still a human being. So whatever he decides to do, I'm gonna back him up 100%, even if he is wrong. So I have nothing bad to say about Vanney anymore. Sir Vanney, you are the GOAT. Thank you very much for the 6-star.
Yeah. Eddie, interested to hear your thoughts on this one.
Well, you said like the most challenging season or pressure.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I mean, it can't be, right? Because he just won a title, and going into it, he's limping in. So I feel like there's a cop out there. It's like, what pressure? If he loses or he doesn't get the results, like, well, championship hangover and we're injured. If he wins, it's like, holy shit, he did it with this squad, So there isn't really a pressure there. And then we got MLS as well. There was how many starters did we lose from the final? 3, right? 3 or 4. And then how many don't we have in the beginning from So I don't think so, because you bought yourself time. You bought yourself time, and it's public knowledge that the MLS just bend us over a barrel and showed us the 50 states. You know, we can't.
Yeah, I just wonder what it's gonna take for us to get back in that position of everyone wanting Vanny out again. But I think you're right. I think he did buy himself some time. But the thing that Rob always tells me is, and this is coming from Will Kuntz too, is that they judge themselves on championships, man. For them, it is championship or bust every year, and I love that mentality personally.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Eddie, man. I don't think it is his most challenging season, or like the pressure is as great as the beginning of last season. I mean, if you remember the season, not last season, but the season before last, people were publicly calling for his job. Like he was asked in the last press conference at the last game that we had with him, why should you be the guy to carry this team forward, and one of the reasons is like that he said is because he does care, and you and I know that he yeah, exactly. Shot for Ananda. Everyone go get him tomorrow. We do know that he cares, and he cares a lot about this team. But not only that, where it was like, dang, like I held on to my job just by kind of like a hair. He gets 20 million, or actually when you consider that Mickey Yamane as well, Galaxy spent around 22 million to bring in Gabriel Peck, Joseph Panso, and Mickey Yamane. And then, we even spoke about it on this pod that had he started the season in a bad way, like, just maybe 3 points from the first 5 games or whatever, like we probably wouldn't have seen Greg for the rest of the year. So I really think that last year was probably his most pressure filled year, and the man delivered. We do have a question in chat from Anthony Martinez. Says, can this new Brazilian kid play as a number 10 and have Marco Royce still be our super sub? I'm glad he brought up Marco Royce. I don't believe Nascimento can play as a 10, but he's more of kind of like that second striker role. But I wrote an article today about, just kind of previewing this match coming up. And one of my big questions going into this game is, how much should we expect to see Marco Royce? We only saw him for 45 minutes at the CVI, only played a half in 4 games, and he was carrying a knock. So for you guys, how much do you expect to see Marco Royce in this match? Bilas?
Well, like we mentioned earlier when we were going through the lineups, I want to see Winder start, because I'm not sure if Marco Royce's body could hold him up, especially in MLS. That's such a physical league. You're gonna need somebody to, with Ricky's absence, to kind of carry the team. And I'm not sure if he's the age that he could do that. As a super sub, I more than welcome it, but as a starter, not too confident this time around.
What about you, Eddie?
I think it's like Brian, especially, you're taking a lot away from who this man is. It's Marco Royce, bro. He is a world-class player. I went to the Men in Blazers show yesterday, where they relived the championship, but Marco Royce.
Don't rub it in.
Nice.
You guys could have been there. It was awesome.
True,
by the
that's
way,
true.
It was an awesome show. But he was talking about how it was rough last year because he didn't have a full off season. He picked up injuries, and he came in injured, and he never really got to get that time off, right? And then they put him in the playoffs, and he's like, "What the hell is this?" I gotta, I gotta do the 2 out of 3 or whatever. But he talked about that. He talked about how now he got the full off season. That could be why we've only seen a few minutes of him. But again, he's a world class player. It's Marco Royce. Talk about practice, you talk about preseason,
Who are we talking about? Preseason? Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so I would want to see him, and if everything he says is true, I think he's gonna have to give like 60-minute games. And you can't sit there and tell me that there's anybody on this team that's gonna be able to help break the lines in the final third better than Marco Royce right now.
It's just his body. Can his body hold up? That's my biggest thing with him.
Well,
and
that's
we've
what I'm
seen that he
saying.
got easily injured last season. And yeah, the whole offseason could probably be a benefit to him. But I still have concerns. Father time always wins. So, he's another season older. as that's why I'm concerned. Just how his body's going to maintain in this league.
Yeah, but that doesn't answer my question. I get your concerns.
Well, the concern answers the question. I know he could ball, but can his body hold up?
Oh, Brian,
Yeah, no, I mean,
that father time gets you, man. I saw you balling out yesterday with your team, and I'm sure that father time gets you, Papa.
I'm actually sore from everywhere after playing 2 games yesterday.
But really quick, guys, why are we arguing? We all know that we've been arguing about this for like 10 minutes. We know Gaston Brugman's going to get the start.
Yeah, that's what I was going to we have a Scooby-Doo moment. Just like
hello.
Oh, good old Gaston. Shout out, Gaston. You're listening.
No. I mean, I pretty much took both of your guys' positions in this article, right? Because I did say, like, I am legitimately concerned about if his body can hold up for the season or at the very least until Ricky comes back. But on his day, much to Eddie's point, the man exudes calm, he exudes poise, he exudes technique. On his day, he's probably one of the midfielders with the most quality in MLS easily. I mean, the guy just kind of slows the game down around him. However, he's got to be on the field to do that, and how much is he going to be on the field? So that's my big concern, is that I don't think he's going to be able to go a full 90. And so how much is Greg going to be able to use him? What do you think, Ananda?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting call. I think, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they started Winder. I really wouldn't. I think it's because of the home crowd. I think we want to get the energy levels up, especially we want to give like we want to throw our first punches in that first half against San Diego and give them absolutely not a chance in hell that they're going to win this game, right? And as the game gets testier and testier, if it's still 0-0 or if it's a tight game in that 70th, 75th minute, it's going to be a nervy stadium, right? And so and that's the other thing. I don't know if we're going to get to talk about it later, but it's just this mentality, right? Like, what is the mentality going to come in? Is there going to be a hangover from getting their rings and winning the championship and, all that in the banner and all that stuff, right? Or not. So that's going to be interesting. But in terms of Marco, yeah, it's a 50-50 call, man. It literally is a coin toss, but I wouldn't be mad with either one because there is merits to both.
Give me a couple after pupusas. I will go ahead and start for Greg. Sign me to a 10-day. We mentioned the goalkeeper situation a little bit earlier. People seem to agree that Greg is going to go Mikovic's way. Do we have anybody on panel tonight who thinks that he's going to throw us a curveball and go at John McCarthy? Everyone.
Hey, watch. He's gonna throw that mad splitter down the middle.
Yeah, that
And this is the thing with the goalkeeper battle. We all want Mekovic to start, but I mean, McCarthy went through a whole season and won the title with the LA Galaxy. Yeah. Why are we doubting this man's skill?
No, let me counter that. Am I wrong to say McCarthy's nothing special?
I wouldn't phrase it like that. I would phrase it like there's no drop off between one or the other. I mean, you can go with one, and one has some qualities where he outshines the other. And Mikovic, has some qualities that outshines John McCarthy. I'm not going to say he's nothing special, especially when he was the number one for a championship season. That just by him becoming a champion, I'm going to say, like, much respect to him. But yeah, I don't really think there's a drop off. I mean, if Greg starts John McCarthy, I won't be surprised. If he starts Mikovic, I won't be surprised, and I won't be mad about either decision. But B-Levs, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, well, Mikovic, that's who I wanted to start, but I was just asking, like, why are we doubting John McCarthy, seeing that he had that run with the LA Galaxy, won the title? Especially because of the defense. You would think that you put in a better keeper because your defense is leaking goals. The defense is not that bad. I mean, we're only pretty bad still on set pieces, but that's something that could be fixed, especially with a player like Garces in the back. I mean,
I'm not doubting McCarthy. Like, I think he is an average goalie. I think there is room to get better. I can't think of moments where it was like, holy shit, we would have lost that game if it wasn't for McCarthy, right? I think Bond made a lot of errors, right? Especially in the air, we know that. But also Bond had some more ridiculous, incredible saves than McCarthy's ever had. Obviously, the mistakes kind of made up for all that, but yeah, like that's what I'm saying. I mean, it comes off like I come off like an asshole saying he's nothing special, but I said what I said.
Well, I'm just going to cap off this conversation with this, guys. It's very nice to have 3 starting level goalkeepers on your team. That's all I'm going to say. That's a good problem to have.
I'm gonna throw you guys. I'm gonna throw you guys
in perspective. We have a damn good team. That's all I'm saying.
Ananda's the neutral Swiss over there. I like it. But I'm gonna give you guys a yes or no question. Do the Galaxy give up a set piece goal tomorrow? Yes or no, Eddie?
I mean, is that a real question?
Yeah.
I hope. I'm assuming everyone's gonna answer yes. So yeah.
What about you, Belovs?
Not knowing what San Diego has on the attack, definitely yes.
We got 2 yeses, Ananda.
Okay, I'm going to be a contrarian for contrarian's sake now. I'm going to say no, but honestly, no, because again, I feel like especially if Mitrovic starts, I think he is more, and this is super subjective, so you guys can totally just, knock me for this comment. I think he is better, more commanding in the air in his box, and that's a huge part of defending set pieces. And also, like, funnily enough, like the defense for me personally, in my opinion, is probably our strongest suit coming into the season, which was not for me what it was last season. And that's only because we have the same back 4 and we have a guy named Emilio Garces who has completely transformed our defense. Right. So that is, exactly. B-Love's just like amazing, amazing player, huge upside. Again, I've seen shouts for MLS Defender of the Year. Look, I don't think that's super crazy. But yeah, so I think to answer your question, Rob, no, because I trust our defense more, which is, man, that's a huge statement to say about the LA Galaxy. That's for damn sure.
No, I could back you up on that a little bit too. I think another thing that changed too, and something I noticed in Sanabria's game is that he's very aggressive too. So he's going to be more of a more physical presence than anybody else that was starting in that position when it comes to set pieces. So I think that helps a lot. If Christian Ramirez comes down to help, he's a bigger body as well.
Right.
I'm saying all that just for Emma Boateng to score a header on us.
But if Emma scores, then at least the entire stadium can sing the Emma Boateng song instead of just one set of fans. You guys know the Emma Boateng song, right?
I don't remember Boateng's song.
Emma Boateng, Emma Boateng.
Yeah, wait, is that real or did you just make that up?
Yeah, no, bro, that's what they used to sing to him.
All right.
Yeah,
Word.
so if he scores, once a G, always a G. I don't think he's gonna get any boos. He showed the Galaxy a lot of love while he was here.
That Boateng, that's hard, man.
Yeah, Emma Boateng, bro. What worries you guys about this game? Obviously, the Galaxy have a 73% probability to beat the expansion side.
Trap game.
Dude, don't even say that.
That's why.
I agree with that, though. I agree with that. I agree with Honda. It seems like a trap game. I think if the LA Galaxy goes in there, because nobody really knows what San Diego brings, and that unknown is probably a little scary. Especially you're gonna open up at home, you're gonna drop a banner. Everybody's coming back, champions. If they lack their execution to whatever plan Greg has, that's gonna be something to look forward to. Well, not look forward to, but like look out for.
What about you, Eddie?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. What kind of reaction is this team going to have, right? I think it's another reason why it's kind of important someone like for Royce to start, that professionalism, make sure everyone is up for this game. Yeah, because it was easy to get up for the home opener last year because it was against Miami. Now you're just, playing one of Garber's new toys. It's kind of like the excitement is going to be about the banner and everything else, not really the opponent. They're probably going to be scared. I'm scared that everyone's going to be stuck staring at their rings and they're going to score on us while we're all, mesmerized by the rings. So that's it. I think the only way we lose is we beat ourselves, right? Just just not up for the game. But as far as San Diego, they are an expansion team. If you've listened to everybody, all the podcasts, the MLS ones, and everything, they're very much an expansion team. It's Chucky Lozano, Luca de la Torre, and friends. That's all it is.
Yeah, Ananda, what worries you about this one? Or I'm sorry, B-Loves, you were gonna say?
No, I said it. Naime Boateng. Don't forget about Emil Boateng.
Yeah, and
he's the part of the and friends.
Yeah, no, I was gonna. This is why I talked about mentality earlier, and going off of Eddie's point, which is, last year, and again, this is why that onside documentary was really good, because you saw everything from sort of even Ricky's personal battle with Barcelona, right, and how that relationship soured, and how he's wanted to show up against Messi and friends. The comment Vanny made about no names Sasha around ex players.
I thought Sasha
stuff.
too.
Yeah, I thought Sasha as well. I know they tried to like make it a Beckham thing, but it definitely was Sasha. So I guess coming into this game, like, where are those? What's the word I'm looking for? Like, where are those motivational factors? Like, what is it? Yeah. Like, what is that motivational factor that's going to get this team up to, show up for their home crowd, defending their title in that first game, right? And that to me, thinking about this over the last day or so, that's the biggest worry, man, is that mentality coming into the game. I think you mentioned something about this, Rob, in terms of not playing the occasion, but playing the game. And for me, it's more so just about, what is that chip on their shoulder? Look, guys, like, what are they playing for this year, at least in this particular game, versus last year, where you wanted to show the whole league that, hey, you wanted to make a statement on day one, right, against Messi and co. But now it's, what is it? And that's, I guess we'll find out, right?
Oh man, you made me even more worried now too, because I can write stories for everyone last year, right? Yoshida had never won a title. He's now the new captain. Even Marco Royce coming in has never won a domestic title. Gabriel Peck wants to prove himself. Painter was left out on the bench and was forgotten at his old club. Dejan Jovic, I am the future of the Galaxy, and now it's like a job finished, so it's kind of, where's everyone going to find that personal motivation and that chip on their shoulder? So thanks, man. I hope I can sleep tonight.
Well, that goes back to my Greg point, right? Which is like, how is he going to motivate this team this year? It'll be interesting to watch for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you can't sleep, you just head over to your closet and, start getting the fit for tomorrow, man. Well, what worries me is that you guys have brought up a couple times that, Elijah Winder, like, you guys might want to see him in that starting lineup. And then if you do see him in that starting lineup, then you have, a young Elijah Winder, you have a young Lucas Sinabre, and then you have a young Edwin Cerrillo in the midfield. And they're all good players, but they haven't really played with each other. I don't see it happening just for that simple reason. Just too young, and they haven't played with each other. So like, I don't want to say the word inexperienced, because they've all been playing for a while, but not together. So that's what I mean when I say inexperienced, like not having the experience of playing together. So that worries me is that if, Marco Royce isn't able to start, or if he does start and only can go 45, then you're finishing out the second half with this largely untested midfield, except for Edwin Cerrillo. And then crazily enough, you have Edwin Cerrillo as the senior statesman in the midfield, right? So, but we're going to fill in the blank here, guys. For the Galaxy to win this match, they have to ... And chat, go ahead and throw this one out at us as well. For the Galaxy to win this match, they have to ... Ramos VSL says Peck is scoring tomorrow. I'm calling it. Man, so. I hope you're a brujo, and I hope you're right. But yeah, chat, go ahead and let us know. For the Galaxy to win this match, they have to ... Eddie, we'll go with you. For the Galaxy to win this match, they have to
stick to the game plan. Just play Vanny ball. This is a very much an expansion team. There's no reason why we should not come out victorious. So in order for the Galaxy to win, they got to stick to the game plan.
Victorious. B-Loves.
In order for the Galaxy to win, they need to start Miguel Berry. No, I'm just kidding. It's funny that you mentioned earlier about the young midfield, and I think that's going to be probably key, controlling the midfield. Serio has a championship under his belt now. I think this season he might take that next step into commanding that center of the pitch in his role. So yeah, controlling the midfield is going to be my answer.
Anandita, for the Galaxy to win this match, they have to.
Yeah, I said yesterday, they got to feed the beast, right? They got to feed Peck. But going off my earlier point, I think they just need to lock it in mentally, man. I think it's the mental part of the game is going to be really important in this game to have no lapses, and maybe to take a page out of your book. I don't know if this is where you're going to go, but I'm going to steal a word that you used a lot last year for the Galaxy to win. They just simply need to execute, my man.
Yeah, I was actually going to go along those lines. I mean, the other day I said, play the game, not the occasion, and part of that is being professional and going out there and taking care of business, knowing that, Eddie said, what is that chip on your shoulder this year? Like where are the storylines this year? For me, the storyline is, hey, you're the champion. You have that target on your back. Everyone is coming for you, and you got to know that. Everyone is coming for you. It's not just the team down the road anymore. It's not just this new expansion team that just popped up. It is every single team. They're looking to dethrone you, and they're looking to embarrass you, because you go into any match, and I mean, what is,
because we embarrassed them last year, pretty much, right?
Well, no, it's like beat the champion, and like, but what is that called? The law of default or something like that? Like, we're the best team because we beat the champion, So every team is going to be looking to beat the champion, and so you just got to go out there and be 100% professional. So I mean, that's really what I'm looking at for this team, and if they come out and play professionally, they are going to get this win, because there really shouldn't be a contest here. I mean, on paper, the Galaxy should be winning this match. There's too much quality and too much unknown about the San Diego team. But the league isn't won in the first match, right? Greg said that to us the other day. The title wasn't won on the first match day. We're going to go ahead and start wrapping it up here with this final question. Where do you guys think the Galaxy will end up in the table? Hot take right now. Of course, it's just the first match. You haven't seen this team play yet together, or at least the midfield. Where do you guys think this team will end up in the table? Maybe around the time that Ricky comes back. Oh, we have the homie Eli Lesser. What up, Unicorn? B Loves. Where do you think this team ends up in the table?
Seeing that there's going to be a lot of competitions to play to, like the Champions Cup, League Cup, and all that, might take away some attention from actual MLS play. With that being said, I can see them still being top 4, maybe 5. It's just I'm kind of worried now that I hear you guys talk even more about having the right mentality, because now the jersey is 1 star heavier, and you are playing for the biggest club in MLS. Are you going to be able to step up and showcase that you belong here? And that's going to be it might be a reoccurring theme throughout the whole season. Is the jersey too heavy for certain players? But hopefully we end up top 4, 5. So yeah, I'll go with that for now, I guess.
real
Eddie,
quick.
What do you think?
I was gonna say real quick. Hey, B Loves, you give me inspiration to Eli, man. So
Let's go. Predation, baby.
I mean, I'm gonna Eli. I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told B Loves. I mean, he's making that purple and gold Galaxy kit look really good. I mean, I said it's clean, the bone structure. The bone structure. I mean, Eli, you're a good looking cat. I mean, you can probably make this jersey look really, really flossy as well. I can't wait to see you in purple and gold, brother Eli. It's gonna be great. So Anando, I mean, you have answered this question a couple times, but of course, as we get into the season, I'm going to ask you a bunch more times. What has changed, if anything, since last time I asked you the question? Where does the Galaxy end up on the table? Still thinking top 4, or has something that you've seen, heard, from anybody else, seen at the CVI, influenced your decision?
No, I've just been really thinking about this mentality piece a bit more, and I think just watching the documentary triggered that quite a bit. So it's gonna be interesting, man. You know, I wish there was. I don't know if the cameras are on this season at all, but I'd love to see just sort of the behind the scenes. But you know, let me just cap it off with a positive. Maybe this might help you guys sleep a little bit better. But remember, guys, that we have also players that can increase their level, can step it up. Where's Gabriel Peck's ceiling? We don't know what his ceiling is yet, right? He should be in the running for MVP if he's on the trajectory that he is. Mickey Yamane, a huge preseason for him. He was awesome. I think I said it the other day. I think we underestimate his technical ability. Dieguito looks fit, sharp. He's ready to go. So I think there's players maybe that had a bit part in to play in the season last season. I think they've got another level that they can step up, right? And I'm hoping we can count on that. I'm hoping Greg can harness that through training, through all the game preparations, etc. So I'm just going to leave you with that. But yes, I think we are still a top 4 team. We're going to be fighting for the top 4. I'm not going to guarantee top 4. There's a lot of things that can happen. Injuries, the Western Conference being stronger, etc. There's just so many variables. But, you know, you guys can clown me on my prediction later. But I do have the right to reserve to change it later. That's how I see it. Yeah, exactly. I know we do.
We pour receipts but we also listen and don't judge. So last question before we get on out of here. Prediction time. Chat, let us know who you think is going to win this match. And you guys can totally be contrarian and say San Diego's going to win it if you want. But chat, let us know. B-Loves, your prediction for tomorrow and a scoreline if you'd be so kind.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier about Vanny saying that you don't win the league by the first game, but you do set the tone for the rest of the season. And I think this is a great opportunity for the LA Galaxy to set the tone and kind of bully San Diego, kind of like a welcoming to MLS bullying, like
little brother,
like a 5-6-0 would be proper for the LA Galaxy. Now, will they do all that? Not sure. We still got to wake up tomorrow and see if they do it. But a win seems like it's more than likely. But 6-0 would be nice.
Ooh, six, man, that'd be great. The Galaxy has scored 6 goals recently, so it is within the realm of possibility. Eddie, what are you thinking?
Definitely not whatever he's drinking. But I would love to have the optimism, but where are those goals going to come from, right? If you watch the preseason, that creativity is missing in the final third.
Didn't you say Miguel Berry is going to start?
No, that's what he said. At the end of the day, they're still, like I said, very much an expansion team. I think, though, it is going to be a bit of a nail biter. The young guys are going to get acclimated to the game after some time. Oh, which way do I want to go? I'll go with the 1-0. I was going to go 2-1, but I don't even know where the 2 goals would come from. So I'm going to go 1-0. We win tomorrow.
And Anita, are you changing your tune from the other day, or are you still holding to your prediction?
Hey, I'm liking the confidence in our defense, Eddie. I'm liking that clean sheet, man. That sounds good to me. No, I'm still about like 2-0, 2-1. I don't think it's going to be a blowout or anything like that. I think he is going to be cagey. I think it's going to be tight. I think we are not going to find our footing until sort of the later stages of the game. I think I don't know if it's going to be nerves or I don't know what it is, but I just have a feeling like we're not going to start well, which is very different than how we started MLS. I remember the last time we did this with you guys. I was super nervous at how we started, and bam, just like that. Like, it was the craziest start ever. Definitely, I don't think that's gonna happen this time. But it is gonna be cagey. I think Christian Ramirez is gonna get his first goal, and Gabby Peck's gonna get on the score sheet as well. So yeah, 2-0, 2-1, something like that. Galaxy win. That's all we care about.
I am not gonna change my prediction or my scoreline. However, I am of the mind that they are going to start really, really well. Full disclosure, I do think that Marco Royce is going to get the start. I don't know how much he'll play, but him and John Nelson and Diego Fagundes looked great on that left side the other day. They created a bunch of chances. Mickey Yamane should have scored that banger that came off the crossbar. I think they're going to make their chances, and I think that they're going to get Christian Ramirez a goal pretty early. I still think it's 3-1. I think the Galaxy are going to cruise maybe to like a 3-0, and then San Diego gets a late goal for the 3-1. But yeah, I think that they're going to start well, and then give up that set piece goal towards the end of the game. We also have a couple of predictions here in chat. Eddie Corleto says LA 4-0. Flipman says 3-1 Galaxy. The homie Leo says 2-1. The homie Marvin says Galaxy dub por la mínima diferencia de 1-0. So you know, you got some people that are on your side right there, Eddie. Galaxy wins tomorrow 2-1. The one and only Rocio. Ramos says 4-1 Galaxy. Papa says 2-2. Ooh, okay.
Hot take.
Yeah, and
it's a plus. It's a plus 400, Papa. Just saying. Not your financial advisor,
really?
but just saying.
and Marvin says Barry with the brace tomorrow. Wait. Well, so Marvin, you say
Yeah.
1-0. But,
Papa,
but
los
but the
mates
math
no
isn't mathing.
suma. No suma.
Oh, wait, how do I bet on that 1-0 win with the Miguel Berry brace?
Yeah, like I don't know how's the math working right there, boss. Well, anyway, either way, it's a Galaxy win. It seems pretty unanimous here in chat. The Galaxy do take the victory, except for Papa, who's saying 2-2, which is honestly, is that the worst thing that could happen tomorrow? Is a tie?
No, a loss.
Well, I'm not putting that as a possibility. That's not going to happen. But let's say that the Galaxy go ahead and walk out of there with a tie. Alarm bells come on? Yes or no?
No,
Not-
tie
not
or
for
loss.
me. Not for
Tie
me.
or loss. Again,
Nah, I think the loss maybe because, like I mentioned earlier, setting the tone. This is a great opportunity for the LA Galaxy to set that tone
Yeah.
for the rest of the season.
I think it depends on the performance, Rob. If they perform like absolute doo-doo, then probably, maybe. But if they perform well, or like we know this team to be, and we just don't finish chances, that's football.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was gonna echo. He's gonna say like even a loss, if it's like one of those losses where like, oh, things just didn't come together, these guys still get acclimated. You know, I wouldn't panic. But if we get like ran off the field, then oh shit, then fanny out.
after one game, where the hashtag is back. Well, chat. I mean that pretty much wraps it up for us. Of course, you know we do have. Is because this is the first match of the season. It's Sunday Night Soccer, so go ahead and catch that. But after this match, the Galaxy plays its first road match of the season, and they'll travel to Canada. They'll face Vancouver Whitecaps on Sunday, March 2nd at 2 p.m. We'll bring you our Vancouver Whitecaps preview pod on Thursday, February 27th. We will, of course, bring you our reaction to the Galaxy versus San Diego on Monday, February 24th. Nag boys, when are you guys back on for your reaction to this match?
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. We're gonna try to do it at 8 p.m. I know the game's pretty early. It's enough time for us to get home, take a shower, chill out, and think about the 6-0 win that just happened.
Ooh, I love the I love the confidence. 6 goals and a shutout, and you know, celebrating with Nag on a Sunday. What a beautiful way to end the week. Guys, go ahead and let the folks know where they can find you before we get on out of here. Be loves, hit them.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter as Bryant Nags. You can find the show on Instagram and Twitter as News Across the Galaxy. Look us up on YouTube. And everybody listening right now, hit the subscribe button on Lacuna. Let's get them to 500.
We are so close. Get us there. Eddie, let us know.
Don't look for me. No, I'm just kidding. Like I always say, make sure to follow all the Independent Galaxy platforms. You know, we don't get paid for any of this. We do it because we love it and we love our G's. And big shout out to you guys. And I said this last time we were on here. Go subscribe. If they don't hit 500 by the time the game starts tomorrow, we're gonna lose tomorrow.
Dang. So you guys heard Eddie, man.
Hey,
You guys got to get us to 500.
This would if they lose, this is not our fault. I said I'm
it's
subscribed.
your fault.
It's your fault. I did my part. Did you?
Exactly, guys. I feel like that was like one of those G.I. Joe promo spots at the end. Like,
Oh yeah.
I did my part. Did you? I love it.
I was thinking Smokey, like only you can prevent forest fire.
Oh, there
Yeah,
it is.
look,
You
dude,
won and lost.
Just do this
Only you
tomorrow.
can prevent a
Do this
Galaxy
tomorrow.
loss.
If we happen to lose tomorrow and you see somebody walking with their head down, just walk up to them like and put your hand on their shoulder. Be like, "Hey, you didn't subscribe, didn't you?"
This is your fault. This is your fault. And guys, just so you know, we are only 13 away. We still have a bunch of hours left in the morning tomorrow to go ahead and get us there. So 13 away, put someone on your tia. And like Eddie said, there's a bunch of good pods out there. There's a bunch of good Galaxy creators that are writing good articles. Shout out to Catamount who recently jumped on X. The homie Leo, the sidebar, is going to be having decals at the digs tomorrow. So go ahead and make sure and find him. So Marvin says Cunero's at the bottom of the press box for halftime tomorrow as usual. Yes, we will see you there as usual. And yeah, I think that pretty much takes us to the end. Ananda, anything else to add before we get on out of here?
Nah, man, just looking forward to seeing our newly renovated home, seeing the sights,
It's gorgeous.
seeing the fresh smells of paint and freshly cut grass and
Yes.
pupusas and brioche bun hamburgers and all that good stuff. Excited to see everyone in the stands, of course. And yeah, guys, if you find us, if you see us, come say what up. Gentlemen, it was always a pleasure. As always, we love you guys. And thanks for doing this. Thanks for doing this with us, man. We'll see you at the next El Último Sueño.
For sure. And Papa says that he's going to go solo. So I trust that the fellow G's will be out there looking for him and making sure that he has a good time with the G's community. Guys, go ahead and subscribe to NAG. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for joining us once again. This has been El Último Sueño. Just a couple hours left until the season and a home opener. Man, I can't wait to be back at the digs. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster and champions. And here we go. One thing left to say. LA strong, vamos campeones, and Jesus. Pew, pew.